What will happen when a group of dogs come outside the hospital? When the people saw it, everyone was confused about why these dogs were there. But when the hospital staff discovered the reason, everyone was shocked. Once upon a time in Ceará, Brazil, where the streets were crowded and lively, in the middle of all the noise and activity is Santa Clara Hospital. People love this hospital because it has kind doctors and nurses who take good care of them. But one fateful night, something strange happens at the hospital. Outside, there's a lot of noise. Dogs are barking and howling loudly. 6 strange dogs have shown up, and nobody knows why. Inside, while everyone is busy working, the hospital staff doesn't know about the strange situation with the dogs outside. But they're about to find out that these dogs are just the beginning of something big. They seemed really determined and serious, like they had something important to do. Even when the hospital staff tried to make them leave, they stayed there like they were protecting something special. It was strange and sweet at the same time, making people wonder what was going on. As the night went on, the hospital staff started to figure out why the dogs were there. Did someone abandon them on the road, or were they sitting outside the hospital for some reason? So hey everyone, welcome to Wildlife Stories. Are you enjoying watching our video? If so, don't forget to subscribe. And we are aiming for 1,000+ likes on this video, so be sure to like it. Let's continue the story. However, later on, it turned out that they were owned by a man named Nolan, who had lived in Ceará's streets for 20 years. Nolan's story was about staying strong when things were tough. Even though he struggled with his mental health, he chose to live on the streets instead of getting help from his family. He believed that being on the streets was where he belonged. In the midst of his life without a home, Nolan felt better because he had 6 loyal dogs with him. They were more than just animals to him. They were like his close family. They always stood by him and helped him through the tough times of living on the streets. Every day they faced challenges together, showing that even when life is hard, love and friendship can still be strong. Even though Nolan's life was tough and he had to worry about surviving, he always made sure his dogs had food and were looked after. But one night, something unexpected happened when Nolan had a stroke on the streets. His dogs followed the ambulance to the hospital, barking and howling because they were worried about him. While Nolan was in the hospital fighting for his life, his dogs stayed outside, showing how loyal they were by waiting for him. As this news became viral, volunteers from the animal department came to help the dogs and Nolan. The animal department first decided to take all the dogs to the shelter, but when they saw the bond between the dogs and Nolan, they couldn't do that. So they worked together to find a way to help both him and his dogs. But as Nolan's condition improved and he was able to go outside the hospital, everyone was waiting to see the reunion of Nolan and his dogs. When he stepped outside the hospital, all 6 dogs ran and happily jumped to hug Nolan. While witnessing this, people's hearts filled with tears to see the remarkable friendship between Nolan and his dogs. Yet even though everyone was happy about Nolan and his dogs being together again, people still wondered, why did Nolan go back to living on the streets? Even though lots of people cared about him and wanted to help, it was hard to understand why he chose to stay outside. It was a question that didn't have a simple answer, like the mystery of why people and dogs become so close. In the end, maybe what makes Nolan's story so special isn't how it ends, but how complicated it is. It's like a beautiful picture made of love, loyalty, and the strong human spirit. For Nolan and his dogs, the streets of Ceará would always be their home. Their story shows that sometimes the strongest connections happen in unexpected places. Even if people forget their story later on, the memory of their love and loyalty will stay, showing how powerful love can be in different ways. So, what are your thoughts about this heart-touching story? Share your opinions in the comment section below. And don't forget to subscribe to stay updated on our new animal stories. Your support means the world to us.